I'm Jesse, and today we're going to take a look at Carcassonne. So this is Carcassonne. We go ahead here and open up the box, set the lid aside. On the top here we have the scoreboard. We'll set that aside for the moment. And below that we have the instructions. Put those in the lid there. Then inside the box here we have 72 tiles, which will end up making up the game board. We have an expansion, which I'm going to talk about here in a future episode. Let me go ahead and set that aside for now. We have the starting tile, which is also part of those 72 tiles. And then we have a bag of wooden meeples. If you're not quite sure what a meeple is, it's just this little wooden character. Looks like a person here. Put them there in my hand. The meeples, or the term meeple, is actually comes from this game. I know there's a bunch of board games out there now that use the meeple as your character, but this is the very first game where these characters came from. Now this game supports 2 to 5 players, so we've got 5 different color meeples in here. So we've got red, green, black, blue, and yellow. And there are 8 meeples per color. So we get 4, 5, guess I'll just dump them all out here, 6, 7, and 8. So we got 8 red meeples there. Now for the purposes of this video here, I'm just going to play the game solo. So let me just go ahead and select another color here. Figure yellow would probably show up alright here on the video. And then bag the rest of the meeples and set them aside. So Carcassonne is a tile lane based game. Go ahead and move the meeples out of the way. The game starts off with a single tile, and let me go ahead and get some other tiles here to show you. You can tell that this is the starting tile because if you look at the back here, it is the inverse color of the regular tiles here. And that tile always gets played first at the start of the game. No one gets to place any sort of character on there. That just goes on the playing surface there to start off the game board. Now typically what you do is, with all the tiles I've got in here, you shuffle them up and stack them into separate piles. And then you randomly draw from the different piles. Since I'm playing solo here and I want to keep the video relatively short, I've just got a stack of 20 random tiles here. I'm hoping all of the different features are featured inside of the random 20 that I've selected here. And I'm just going to go ahead and set them right here. So for the game board, you go ahead, or sorry, for the scoreboard, you just go ahead and take this, you set this aside, and then you take one meeple from each color of the meeples that are in the game here, and you just go ahead and set them on 0. And then as you're playing the game and points are scored, the meeples will move around to the designated number based on the points that are scored. So let me go ahead and set that here to the side. And let's just go ahead and start playing. As I'm playing, I will talk about scoring. So we've got our first starting tile there, and we'll go ahead and select the next tile. So the next tile looks like this. And this part here is what is known as a city. Now if we look on the starting tile here, you can see that we have a road, and we have part of a city right there on top. So I'm going to put that there, and then I'm going to attach the city to our starting tile there. And I'm going to have red go first. So how do you score in this game? To score, you can place your meeple in one of 4 different places. You can either place them on a field, which is the grassy green part here on the tile, and in doing so you would lay them down. You can play them on a city, so you stand them up on the city itself. If I had played the road tile, I could put my meeple there on the road. And there's also another tile in here, which I'm hoping is in this pile, which is known as the cloister. And when you place your meeple on top of him, he becomes a monk. So then how do you score? Well, In order to score on a city, you must complete that city. And once you complete it, each tile for that city is worth 2 points. If you place your meeple on a road, you have to have 2 endpoints on the road, thus completing the road. And then when the road's complete, the thief gets 1 point per tile. The meeple on the road is known as the thief. When you place them on a cloister, that tile has to be surrounded by 8 additional tiles. Once that's surrounded by 8 tiles, you get 9 points. So 1 point per tile surrounding, plus the tile that you're on, for a total of 9 points. And then scoring for the field, when the meeple is placed in the grass there, he's known as a farmer, and he's on the field, that doesn't happen until the very end. So let me continue playing the game here, and hopefully we can get a little bit of a field going here, and I can show you that. So you can also only place your meeple on the tile that you just played. So I was red on that turn. I'm going to go ahead and place the red guy right there in the city. So now it's yellow's turn. So I've got my next tile here, and you'll notice that it's grass with 2 ends for a city. Now if I played the end here on this city, I would complete it for the red guy, but then I could also place my meeple over here on the start of the new city. But I think I'm going to go ahead and place this over here in the grass. Move the tiles a little bit here this way. And then I'm going to place the yellow meeple here in the field. So now it is red's turn again. So I'll draw the next tile. I've got an end cap here. So I'm going to play that here on my city. And for your turn, you draw a tile, you place it. You can then place another meeple if you have one available. So I'm going to place him here on the road. And then you score any completed objects here in the game. So in this particular instance, I completed a city. So it's 2 points per city. So I've got 3 tiles here making up that city. So that's 2, 4, 6. And then the middle portion here also has a shield on it. And the shield's worth an additional 2 points. So that brings me to a total of 8. So over here on my scoreboard, I'll move my red meeple to the 8 spot. And we'll go ahead and set that back aside. So now it is yellow's turn. So yellow drew, and we've got a road tile here. So I'll go ahead and extend out that road, and I'll place the yellow meeple on the road. Back to red now. So red is over here starting a road, so I'm going to go ahead and place that there to extend the road, and then there's also another portion to the city. So I'm going to place the red meeple on that tile. So now yellow's turn. Going to go down here for yellow and complete this little city there. As yellow, I'm going to place my meeple on there. Remember, so you have three actions per turn. You place a tile, you can place a meeple, and then you score. So I place the tile, I place my meeple, and now I just completed a city. So now I instantly score and I get my meeple back. You only retrieve a meeple once you score. So this particular city here, small one, only 2 tiles, so that's 4 points. So I'll move my yellow guy here on the scoreboard. Back to red now. So as red, I drew another city portion here. Going to extend out my city that I've got going here. Now once you already have a meeple on whatever it is that you're trying to build, you don't have to place them again. And in fact, if I was yellow and I drew this tile and I placed this here, I wouldn't be able to place my meeple on this because red was already there. You can't place a meeple on an object that you're trying to build where there's already another opposing meeple. So for this, what I can go ahead and do is I'll play the field here as the farmer and just let him sit there. Now it's yellow's turn, and I drew this road termination. There's actually a house or a little city here in the middle, and you'll see that there's a 3-way road. So yellow's got a road going up here, and I'm going to go ahead and terminate that right there. So now we have one endpoint on our road for yellow, but we still need an endpoint over here. And as red, what I'm trying to do is prevent yellow from scoring points. So ideally I would come up with, or find some sort of tile where there's no end cap here that also completes my city but kind of continues on the road so it doesn't finish it for yellow. As yellow, I'm going to go ahead here and play another road. So that completes yellow's turn. It's now red's turn. So red draws, and we've got another road. So I'll go ahead here and continue out my road here on the side. And I've already got red here on the road, as you can see. So I don't really want to play some meeple, so I'm going to end my turn, and now it's yellow's turn. So yellow draws, and we've got another piece of a road here. So I will, I think, branch off my road here. And again, I've already got the yellow meeple there on the road. Don't really need to place it anymore. So I'm going to end my turn and move on to red. So it's red's turn. I've got a corner piece here to a city. And I can't play this here to complete my city because you'll notice that the city continues over here on this side. But if we look here, there's no city here. There's a piece of a road. So the tiles that you play, the sides, always have to match up with the adjacent tiles. So what I can do here is place this in the field and then place another red meeple on this city in hopes that I can go ahead and complete that one. So that ends my turn. It's now yellow's turn. So yellow draws, and I'm going to place this tile here. And I'm going to place my yellow meeple on that city. And I instantly score because I just completed that city. So that city is 2 tiles, so that's worth 4 points. So at the moment, red and yellow here are tied with 8 points on the scoreboard. Go ahead, set that aside. Red's turn now. So as red, I drew another road tile. I'm going to go ahead and place that here to extend my road. And that's going to end my turn. Yellow's turn now. So yellow drew another piece of road. I'm going to put that right there in hopes that I can loop that back around. And in fact, I'm going to end my turn right there. So now as red, I draw another piece of a city here. So I think I'm going to attach that here to the piece that I just played, the edge of the city. Again, I'm going to end my turn because I already have a red meeple on that city. So now it's yellow's turn. Yellow draws a piece of a city here. And I've already got a piece down here going. Or sorry, a city down here going, I mean. So I'm going to place that right there. And then as yellow, I'm going to place the meeple on that tile that I just played. So that ends my turn for yellow. Back to red here. So I just drew another corner piece to a city. So I think I'm going to place that one. I think I'm going to place that one over here on the edge. You can see my city's being built out here. Again, I already have the red meeple on that city. That's just a continuation of it. So I'm essentially going to end my turn there. So back to yellow. Yellow draws an end cap here to a city. So I think I'm going to place that here on the city that I've got going down here at the bottom. Again, yellow meeple's already in the city. Don't have to place any more there. So that ends my turn. And now I'm going to draw here for red. So this here is a cloister. I was hoping this would come up. And the cloister, again, I would place this, and then if I place my meeple on it, he would become a monk. And in order to score full points for this, I would need to surround it on all sides by tiles. You'll notice that this is surrounded on all 4 sides by a field. So I need to place it where there is a field adjacent to this. So the best place that I can see to place it right now probably is right down here next to the city that I had played. And I'm going to place my meeple on there. So at this point for the demo here, I'm out of tiles. I only had a stack of 20. Like I said, the game comes with 72 tiles, including this starting tile here. So at this point, I can't score any additional points for completing the different objects, so the roads, the cities, the fields, or the cloisters, because I'm out of tiles. So this essentially brings us to the end of the game. And at the end of the game, even though you haven't completed the different objects on the board, you still get points for them. However, you do get less points. So in the normal play of the game, when you complete a road, it's 1 point per tile. At the end of the game, the road is still worth the same amount of points. So it would be, if we look here at yellow, yellow is on this starting branch of the road, and that road essentially has 2 tiles. So that'd be 1 point, 2 points, and I'll go ahead and remove my meeple there. Let me get the scoreboard back over here so you can see as I'm adding up the score here. So right now, yellow and red are both on 8. Yellow just scored 2 points for that road. We'll move them here up to 10. Yellow is on another road here, and this road includes 1, 2, 3 tiles. So that's 3 points. Go ahead and remove yellow there. Move yellow up to 13 now. Normally, during gameplay, city tiles are worth 2 points when you complete the city. At the end of the game, they're only worth 1 point. And if any part of the city also has a shield on it, you also get 1 point for that as well. So let's go ahead and finish scoring here for yellow. So yellow's down here in this city, and this city consists of 1, 2, 3 tiles, giving him 3 additional points. We're going to leave the yellow farmer there for just a moment. We'll come back to him at the end, and then we're going to go on here to scoring for red. So we'll start here for the road here for red. So red is on 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles there for that road. So we'll score 1, 2, 3, 4 points. If we look next here at the city, this city consists of 2 tiles, so we'll give red 2 points there. If we look at this city over here, this city consists of 1, 2, 3 tiles, so there's 3 points, but there's also 2 shields in there, so that's 2 additional points. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Red is also on a cloister here. You'll notice that we didn't finish the cloister because we didn't have a tile here, 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 or here, but we do have the center tile, which is worth 1 point, the tile that's up here, which is worth 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yellow is at 16 now, red is at 24. Go ahead and remove that guy. And now we need to calculate the fields. So farmers are the only ones that you score at the very end of the game, and they are the meeples that you place laying down inside of the grassy area there. So the way you score farmers is you need to see how many completed cities there are within the field that you're in. So red is sort of in between 2 cities, or what would have been 2 cities, that has a very small patch of grass. And in this very small patch of grass, you see that there's only 1 completed city, which is this one right here. So for every completed city within the field, you get 3 points. So in this particular instance, again, there's only 1 completed city, so we move red 3 times. So red is now at 27, and yellow is at 16. So yellow, on the other hand, is over here in this field. And fields are any grassy area that are between boundaries. So they can be between roads, they can be between city walls. In this particular instance, we have 2 completed cities. Doesn't matter the size of the city, there are 2 separate completed cities here. If we would have completed this city, this would have been in the same field, because you see it would have been the same grassy area. But that city is not complete, so that one doesn't count. So the only 2 cities we have in this field, or the only cities we have in this field, are these 2 cities here. So it would be 6 points for yellow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in this particular example of the game, red won. It was 27 to 22. Typically when you're playing and you use all the tiles, you'll go around the board numerous times here for points. Once you get to 50, because the scoreboard here only goes from 0 to 49, you essentially lay your meeple down, and then you move them along the scoreboard like you normally would. So laying them down just denotes that you've already gone past 50, so you can keep track of the score more easily. So yeah, that is Carcassonne. I have absolutely fallen in love with this game. I bought this game just on a whim. I've I've seen it in stores for years, and I always thought it looked interesting, and it's a very interesting game. But like I said, I finally decided to take the plunge. Absolutely glad that I did, because I think this has become my new favorite game. The one thing that I will say is that it's very easy to play, but it's an extremely hard game to master. Essentially, it's easy in that it's just a puzzle and you're just trying to fit the pieces together, but there's a lot of strategy involved in trying to come up with the most amount of points while also trying to screw over your opponent. So, for example, let's see, what's a tile I can grab here? Let's say, let me break this out here. Let's say yellow had claimed this city here. But as red, I drew the following tile, which is a corner piece to a city. As I mentioned before, I can't place this tile here to the city that's already existing and then place my red meeple on there, because I can't place a meeple on an object that's already been taken. So this city has already been claimed by yellow. I can't place the red meeple there. However, what I could do is place this piece there, put my meeple there, and then try to figure out a way to place a tile there to connect the cities. If I connect the cities, I screw the other player out of points, because essentially we'll get the same amount of points once the city is completed. Another strategy is to figure out ways to connect fields. So for example, if yellow was in this field, and as red, let's say for example, I wanted to place this tile here. I couldn't, as red, play the field there because this field has already been claimed by yellow. However, let's say for example, I don't know, I played this as red, and then I play this field here. Technically you can see that the fields are not connected because there's no tile here that's connecting the grass. But then red plays, I don't know, this tile, and then as red, I will play this tile. Now technically the fields are connected because the grass area continues here. At this point, red and yellow would be in the same field, and we would essentially split the points for the number of completed cities at the end of the game. So it would essentially be a wash. You would get the same amount of points, but you're technically screwing the other player in the sense that you're both getting the same amount of points. So like I said, it's very easy to play, but it's kind of hard to master because there's a lot of strategy involved in trying to figure out how to score the most amount of points while also screwing over the other players out of points. So yes, this is Carcassonne. Absolutely love this game. Would highly recommend picking it up if you are a tabletop gamer, because you are not going to be disappointed. There are a lot of expansions to this game. I happen to have 2 of them. The game includes one of them. At least this version of the game does. If you can see here on the box, it says includes the river. The river is one of the Carcassonne expansions, and that is just a mini expansion. It's something I'll talk about, like I said, in another episode. But I absolutely love this game, and I would highly recommend picking it up. So do so, because you are not going to be disappointed. So till next episode, this is Jesse saying go buy some meeples.